given that, you're fighting on this Spence Crawford card, you always give great insight, Nonito. Break that fight down, man. A lot of people said it's 50-50, and a lot of people are going back and forth between how one is going to separate themselves in that fight.
The
How do
thing
you
about
see it?
it, the thing about it is 50-50 because they're good at what they do, right? But in that 50-50 can shift whoever whoever imposes their style, you know. The thing about it is Spence has this tremendous style which is very simple. It's very basic, but he masters this basic style. You know, keeping the hands up, coming in there with throwing the jab to set up that straight, coming in with the body shot, even the left hook. That those guys are very very difficult to fight because they're right down the middle, you know, and coming in right down the middle it is faster than anybody coming around, you know. So Crawford needs to learn how to counter those shots or go around those shots. You know, Crawford is very versatile. That's something that's very different because he can be a right hand. He can make it difficult. Then he switch up to the left. It can make it very difficult. He goes up. He goes down. You know, he goes all of that. He has that variety where he has all the weapons, right? But Spence at the same time has one weapon, but it's a devastating weapon. He's like he mastered this weapon. So, you know, this is why a lot of people are looking at it 50-50 because of the fact that these guys are good at what they do, you know, and when they do it well. Now, if one can take away uh that weapon from them, then that person wins the fight.
Hmm. Yeah, it's so many like ways I could see the fight happening, but it's like the last week I've heard a lot. Terence hasn't fought anybody with the power of Spence. How is Terence gonna deal with the pressure, the power, and the output of Spence? And just me, from my experience covering the sport, usually guys that are great counterpunchers are very good defensively, even though Crawford does get caught with punches, are able almost 9 times out of 10, whatever output their opponent has, they're able to half it right away because of their counterpunching.
Well, the thing about it is Crawford is very talented. You know, it's different than somebody who has one style. So you can pressure somebody who has one style and you can pressure them well. But if somebody who has two styles, you know, can go this way and that way, it's very hard to trap those guys. You know, and they're gonna go out there and it's gonna be a matador in the bull. That's just pretty much how this fight's gonna be.
If I were to give you $1,000, Nonito, and I've been asking this to everybody, I give you a G, and I'm like, yo, you gotta pick one or the other. You gotta bet on them. Who would you bet on?
I think both guys has the capability of winning the fight, but to me, I think the more versatility has more weapon. You know, so even if Spence take away one weapon, he has another weapon. If you take away Spence's weapon, which is his jab to set up the straight, then he has no other option. So I have to go with Crawford on this. If I have to put money on, I have to go with Crawford. Granted that they would say that Spence is the bigger guy and he does hit hard, but when one weapon is taken away, you know, he has to learn how to do another. You know, but if you take away Crawford's weapon, he has so many other weapons that he can play. So I have to go with him.
12 rounds or stoppage?
I don't look at stoppage on this one. I mean, both guys are very going to be very cautious, you know, and I think he's going to go the distance on this one.
Going back now to your fight, man. Like I mentioned, you're fighting that night as well. What type of show can we expect from you? What do you expect from yourself in this fight?
I guess for me, one thing I want to see myself do on this fight is be very disciplined. I think when I'm disciplined, I can beat anybody. If you know, because I lose my cool when I get hit with the jab, right? I want to go out there and kill. You know, I want to go out there and brawl. I want to go out there and war. You know, I don't mind doing all that stuff, but now I just want to be smart and be disciplined. I think that's the very key for me that I've been working on is becoming very, very disciplined, and when I can create a disciplined fighter in myself, I believe that I can set up a lot of the stuff to hurt people or to hurt the opponent inside that ring.
You expecting do you see style wise? Do you expect that you'll finish him in this fight?
The guy's a tough guy. You don't ever really kind of, the guy he's a tough guy. He's never been down and stuff like that. But there's always a possibility, and I know a possibility of taking him. But I'm not gonna be over. I guess I'm not gonna try too hard to go get it. If it's a point where I can set it up, I'm gonna get it. But being disciplined is one thing that I want to become in this fight.
Yeah, man, it'd be another great achievement to add to the many achievements you've
It'll be
had
the
over
10th title.
in your career, man. Like you mentioned, you've been fighting now 20, what is it, 22 years?
Yeah, 22 years.
Jeez.
You're going for the 23. At the end of the year, it's 23 years. So professionally,
That's well, yeah. We won't count the street fights growing up and all that, but yeah, you made your debut in February 22nd of 2001.
Yep, that's right.
How much did you make in that first fight?
$400.
$400?
$400. It was $100 around.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
What'd you do with that first paycheck?
Uh-huh.
What'd you do with that first paycheck? The first $400?
I have no idea, man. We probably bought some food and gave it to my dad. That's pretty much where a lot of the money kind of went. I always try to give it to my family and stuff like that.
That's crazy, man. When you started, did you ever think that what you achieved now was possible, or you always kind of had a feeling that the sky is the limit for me?
Well, I never thought I was gonna stay in boxing for a very long time. That's something that I know, and I never thought that I was gonna accomplish all of this stuff. But I did feel within me that I was special. I always felt like, man, I know I'm destined for something. Maybe every kid has that, but I've always felt that as I was growing older. I've always felt that. I've always felt that I had this spark that was just special.
Wow, man. What would you attribute that to? Like, when did you notice that?
I've always been a daydreamer growing up. So every time I would run, I would always dream. I've always manifest all the things that I want. But I've always felt within me that I was always destined for something. Like even in boxing, even now, I still feel like I'm destined to do something great. And it may not be in boxing, but I know I still feel that I have a purpose to do before I leave, I guess. But I've always been destined to do something amazing in this world. So I have no idea. Even becoming a world champion, even doing this and even doing that, it's not that feeling that I have that I'm supposed to achieve. This right now was just like because I worked hard, because I did this, because I believed in it, because I manifested it. But within me, there's always this spark that you are to be something greater. You're gonna do something amazing still.
Well, I'm not sure if you're
that way, man.
I'm not sure if you're aware of this stat, but you've been a world champion in 3 different decades.
Yeah, that's crazy to me.
Right? Because you won your first world title in 2007, and then from 2010 to now, you've been multiple weight world champion. So, hey, man, hats off to you, Nonito. Like I mentioned, you're one of boxing's ageless wonders. It's always great chatting with you, bro. Always good seeing you, and I hope that we get to see that the drop to 115 to get those fights.
That'd be fun.
With those guys, man, because those would be crazy, tremendous fights. On an ending note, Nonito, man, hey, any last words? What do you want to say to everyone out there?
I just want to say what's up to everybody out there. I just want to say thank you for all this support that you guys have given me. So stay tuned on the 29th showcase. Another me, a youthful me, man. So, check it out. And thank you again, brother. Thank you. I appreciate you, man.
Of course, that is Nonito Donaire, who fights July 29th on this Spence versus Crawford pay-per-view on Showtime. One of boxing's ageless wonders, multiple weight world champion, and first ballot Hall of Famer, Mr. Nonito Donaire. Thank you, Nonito.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate you.